Okay, so let's head straight to our next segment, and that is Headlines Across Africa.
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 Okay, so today we're going to Zambia, Tunisia, and Mozambique.
All right. Where's our first transit?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's start from Mozambique.
What's happening there?
So we're reading from the Noticias newspaper, and the headline simply says, to INSS, government extends deadline for payment of fines.
Okay.
Well, it turns out the government extended for next December the deadline for the payment of fines and reduction of interest on the late payment of taxpayers of the mandatory social security system. The measure, approved at the 15th ordinary session of the Council of Ministers meeting yesterday in Maputo, applies to employers, self-employed workers with debts of contributions, fines and interest to social security. Speaking to the press, the Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade and spokesperson for the session, Ludovino Bernardo, clarified that the measure also covers entities that for some reason have never enrolled in the social security system or still have pending process of coercive collection of the debt contributions. That's a story coming from the Noticias newspaper in Mozambique. It's a good one. It's good, but I hope special provisions are being made for startups, because those taxes could run your business to the ground if you start like that.
It has to. Okay.
Well, reading from the Lusaka Times in Zambia, and the headline says, government has constructed 101 communication towers in Luapula Province, Kafwaya.
Okay.
The government says it has so far constructed 101 new communication towers in Luapula Province from the 1,009 towers being constructed through Zamtel under Phase 2 of the project. Transport and Communications Minister Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya says the government under President Dr. Edgar Lungu has made tremendous strides in ensuring the development of an effective and reliable telecommunication network through supporting the implementation of various telecommunication projects. Now, the project, which began in 2017, is aimed at constructing and upgrading a total of 1,009 communication towers, as well as Zamtel's core radio transmission network infrastructure, at a total cost of $280. Well, the communications minister said he's reliably informed that 783 towers have so far been constructed and are on air. Now, this is commendable work on the part of Zamtel, who are the project managers, as well as strategic partners with government in the development of the communications sector. I think it's good. Once the main key is actually to respond to the cry of the people in the unserved and underserved parts of the country, communications is a key thing to a country's social and economic development.
Very true. Okay.
And finally, hitting it home, we're moving to Tunisia, where we're reading from the La Presse de Tunis. Unfortunately, not the best of news coming from there.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
Assaults on journalist, SNJT sounds the alarm.
You gotta be kidding me. We just observed a day yesterday.
I know.
Dear. Okay.
Well, the National Union of Tunisian Journalists, SNJT, has classified the Ministry of the Interior, the government presidency, and the Al Karama coalition as the first to be responsible for attacks on journalists and attacks on press freedom during the period of 1st May 2020 and 30th of April 2021. Speaking at a press conference to present the annual report on the state of press freedom in Tunisia, members of the union's executive board said that 206 assaults were recorded during the study period, the heaviest toll recorded in the last 3 years. Now, police and security unions are responsible for 44 assaults, followed by the presidency of the government under Hikem Mikiki, according to the members of the SNJT's executive board. Now, the SNJT's executive board has shown hostility towards the media from the outset. In this sense, they recall the withdrawal of the draft consensual law on the audiovisual regulatory body in order to pass the one proposed by the Al Karama Coalition. This is not good news.
Not at all.
This shouldn't even be, I don't know.
I mean, at a time where we're actually looking to improve the treatment, journalists face by some of these groups, and like I said yesterday, it actually baffles me when I find out that those perpetrators are actually in the service. Because if you're a journalist and your life has been threatened, you run to the security service for protection.
Yeah.
But here's the case: they are the one doing the harm. Unfortunately,
Not really the best of
Not at
things. I
all,
feel
not
we
at
wish they would do better, but then it's actually happening. I think we actually need to have our governments put their foot down and do the right thing.
Absolutely.
As much as yes, we wouldn't want everybody sitting on end saying what they think and just to incite anything in the people like Rwanda.
Right.
But we need to know what works best for us and do the right thing. We should not take the lives of people for granted just because they're doing their job.
Okay. That's all we have.
That's all we have for the headlines across Africa.
For headlines across Africa. Let's get on now to trends on social media.